What's going on, everyone? In this video I'm here with my partner Sam, and we're going to be demonstrating how you can elevate your flow drills. We're going to be taking our 10 count P2P in single stick. We're going to break it up to 3 different sections to show you, and we're just going to play with it with our basic Sumbrata drill. So the concept of elevating your flow drills comes from taking a short flow and being able to mix it up with something else in a particular order. And what that happens is you still kind of have this guideline, so you don't necessarily go completely freestyle, but it's kind of more of a place it when and where to more of your liking. And that kind of gives it a little bit more of an instinct, so you got to kind of react to be able to get from technically one drill to the other drill. So with reaction comes the concept of feeder and receiver. And not to spend too much time on it, but when you start breaking up drills like this, coincidentally enough, the way that it's built traditionally is to make it both my side is a feeder and receiver and Sam's side is a feeder and receiver. But when you start breaking that up, then one side is going to be knowing how to be a feeder consistently, and the other side is going to receive. So it's almost like I'm being the pad holder and Sam is going to be the puncher, the striker, the fighter, if you will. To be a pad holder, you have to make slight adjustments. Even though it looks like we're doing the same thing, the mentality is a little different on my end versus Sam's end, and to loop drills together to keep it flowing, I gotta do slight adjustments. I can't just do the same thing because P2P is equal every single time. So we're gonna break it down first. We'll show the 3 different sections as well as the Sumbrata and how we're gonna put that together so you guys can practice at home or with your training partner. So the first section is what we call the 4 count of the P2P, and that's going to be an angle 1, snap down here, 2, snap down here. And when we flow this, we have 4 equal counts here, okay? The second set is what we call the 8 count section of our P2P. So following that 4, you have the next set of 4, which is going to be our X pattern and our reverse X. So these are what we call the circular strikes, and the first 4 counts are what we call our linear strikes. Then when we get to the final 2 counts, this is our 3rd section, and this is the parrying. Now we're dealing with a little bit of range. So what generally happens here is I strike, my partner parries with the safety hand, and I parry with my safety hand. And you can kind of flow this back and forth here. Okay? So when you put it all together, you would get the 10 count, but that is traditional to P2P. I'm a feeder, he's a feeder, I'm a receiver, he's a receiver. So we're going to add in what we call the basic Sumbrata, which is basically, there's going to be an umbrella block to the right, a sunrise strike, to the left, sunrise strike. And we're just going to flow this back and forth, and this is what we call the basic Sumbrata. Okay? So we're going to take one of those sections, either the 4, the 8, or the parry, and we're going to incorporate that after the Sumbrata to mix it up and be able to play the feeder and receiver consistently. So I will be the feeder, Sam will be the receiver, he's going to be the fighter, I'm the pad holder. So we start with the Sumbrata, and we go to the first 4 count here, and we go back into it. This is just a fun way to be able to mix it up and change lines. So in that particular set, I'm always doing my umbrella block first. Okay, because I want to create a reaction out of Sam, and when I come here, he has to react on that angle. Okay, and then from here, he's in a position where he can strike right away. For me to turn this into a drill, I have to loop this all the way around to go back into our 1, 2, 3, 4. So because I'm the feeder, I have to make that extra step coming around to continue to flow back into the P2P. If this was just completely freestyle, when I'm down here and Girl Sam's up here, he's just going to whack me. He's already in position. Why would he wait for me? So my job as a feeder is maybe take the extra step, maybe set up a little bit more of a clearer timeline or speed so that we can continue to flow in a semi-structured process. And that lets Sam worry about the strikes and the counts and not worry about me keeping up. He's just worried about getting those cues. So the fighter doesn't punch when the pads are down. I call what I want, pads come up, we execute the combination. That's all he's worrying about right now. It's just translated into single stick format. So we look at this again, but now instead of the 4 count, we switch to the 8 count. We start with the same Sumbrata, and we follow up with our X patterns, and reverse X. So here I'm going to stay. And as we do this, we're going to be able to mimic the beginning part here. Right? If I'm already here and I want to attack, I would come straight back down. But because I'm going to reverse X here, I'm going to hold that position and I'm just going to let him strike back. Okay, so we can reset the drill that way. So again, we're going to go Subrata. And we go X pattern, reverse X, I stay, and we loop. Okay, so that's how you transition from the 4 count to the 8 count, including the Subrata prior to. Now we're going to go into the parries. So I'm going to feed the strike first, and Sam's going to be able to parry it, strike me back, and I'm going to take a big step to be able to loop us back. So I'll show you how that's done. We start with the Subrata. I step in, and he has to adjust. I'm feeding him the strike to parry. Now when he comes here, he's worried about the strike. I loop this around as I bring my right hand up, and all the way into my Subrata. And that will naturally flow back into a sunrise strike, and we can go right back into it. So again, Sam is prioritizing striking. This comes around, it's coming right back up and hitting me. I have to bring mine all the way around, and then into my umbrella block in order to keep this going. Okay, so that's how you can elevate your flow drills. You don't need a new count, you don't need a new technique. You can take what you have and compartmentalize, break it up, slice it into different counts itself, and play with it so that you can work on being a feeder, work on being a receiver, take what you was pre-existing and then just kind of amplify it, elevate it if you will, and then you can have fun and improve your skill set with what you already have. Okay, so FMA can be vast and there can be thousands of different counts. You don't need to know all of them to be good at P2P. You just have to be able to break down what you have and to understand it further. So give that a shot with your training partner. Make sure you guys play this over if you need to. Take it nice and slow. It's always about cooperation and chemistry between you and your partner. It's not a competition, especially when you're doing a feeder and receiver concept. So keep that in mind as you guys train. If you guys have any questions, make sure you comment below and let us know. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Basic Access, our online membership, is available, as well as these Union fight shorts. You can order that and have it shipped to you, all in the links below. Until next time, catch you guys then.